Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech. Today's going to be a big day score-wise, also, I guess, difficult missions-wise, because I believe we are going to crash our Federated Suns rep down to -100, while moving this up to +100, which is like over 20,000 points we're going to earn. It's a big percentage of our total overall score so far, and frankly, I have no idea what a good score is for the campaign mode with these settings. If you've done a whole career mode, please do feel free to list your final career mode scores in the comments below. I'd be very curious to see like how we're measuring up. I don't know if we're doing well or not. I assume we're doing pretty well because I feel like we got lucky a bunch of times in the early going. We picked up some valuable mechs pretty fast. Anyway, we have some missions here to do. I would like to knock out all 3 of these today. We'll see how time goes, I suppose. A high-tonnage Davian lance will shortly make planetfall at the behest of a group of petty nobles and commercial interests. Intel suggests this is the vanguard of a larger force of conventional tanks and infantry, and they're scouting the region for a suitable landing site. We need a competent mercenary company to intercept the mechs and stop the invasion, but unfortunately all we have access to is you guys, so here's the money. I'm gonna hold on a second. Before we do anything, I'm just gonna get the list up. Where are we at on mechs here? There are just 3 assault mechs that we still need. The Awesomes and the Highlander 733p. What do I think the odds are that we're going to see one of those things? Because here, we're talking about a considerable amount of money here. They let us go all the way up to 418. There's no way that's right. The question really is 1 or 2 pieces of priority salvage, right? What are we at as far as parts of those mechs? Storage. Let's see. We have 1 part of the Awesome 8Q. We have no parts for the Awesome 8T. And Highlander. Maybe I have no parts of the 733p Highlander either. Yeah, looks like. Because these are sorted by weight, obviously. Okay. And there are still a couple of mechs, like obviously the 732B is Lost Tech. That's not part of our scoring. Yeah, and then also we still, of course, as I've mentioned, probably every episode, we still need, where are you? A completed Centurion 9 AL, which we need 2 parts of. So actually, the fact that we have no awesome parts and no parts of the Highlander we're looking for, makes me want to take this as a slightly higher level of salvage. Maybe even 3 parts, right? If we find one of these things, maybe we could just take the whole thing home. But this is only 4 skulls. I'll tell you what. We'll do 1 piece of priority salvage here, and we'll go up on the priority salvage for the 5 skulls, where we're almost certainly just going to see assaults. Because here, I bet we're going to see a lot of heavies. Alright, I don't think we need to change anything. Hellebore got a point of piloting in between this episode and last, but it's still a Martian biome, so I still want to go heavy on the coolant venting. Yeah. It is a little bit of a shame that we are probably not going to change up our lance a whole lot over the course of the next 500 in-game days. I like this game a lot. I'm still having fun, but I do feel like 1,200 days is a weird amount of time for the career. I think that they did it because 1,200 days from the start date of the career takes you to like a day that's important in the history of the BattleTech universe. I think there's a lore reason why it's 1,200, but in terms of the power curve of the campaign, I really feel like it should be more like 350 or 400. I think, if I were designing it, I would probably try to set it at a point where it's likely the player will get some assault mechs, but they will be unlikely to be able to field a full lance. Because that way, your mech roster is advancing the whole time. You don't have like a ton of pilots just capping out and having nowhere to go. You know, it feels like you're building all the way to the end. Here, I feel like we stopped building like day, I don't know, 700 or something, maybe even before that. And it's been this thing for a while, and it's gonna be this thing for a while longer. All right, big surprise. There are bad guys. They're in the area. We know that.
What is this place?
Let's go do it. Hellebore can't stand all this orange. I get that. Listen, I like the color orange, but I bet this is a little hard on my eyes. I bet it would be really annoying looking at it through the cockpit of a mech.
What's up, boss?
Think of all the glare off the metal components, and yeah, we're gonna. I know the dust storm is gonna slow us down a little bit, but I do want to approach through it because it's the only source of cover in the area. I might have this guy. I'm wondering if we should try to keep him out of line of sight entirely, or no. We'll stay pretty far back with him. We'll just use the sandstorm. It should be good enough to keep him alive. Again, this is only 4 skulls. This one's probably not going to be that hard.
Standing by.
Could be much worse. I'm going to jump as far forward as possible here. What do we got? Zeus and a quick draw. Well, that Zeus hasn't bothered to gain any evasion or anything. I might try to just take its head off. It does have guarded up. I'm probably not going to be able to get the head then. Yeah, because with guarded up we're doing, what, 28 damage per laser? So unfortunately that is three hits to the head. We could try to just core it out. It's not really that tough.
Got it.
Also, as much as I do enjoy the gameplay, and I think you make a lot of interesting decisions and stuff in the missions, part of the problem with playing for a long time with a static lance is that we get to this point where I am just kind of doing the same thing over and over again.
Engaging.
Like I said, I've heard some cool things about some mods that really change the experience up pretty significantly. We may well look into that. I think we'll take a little break from BattleTech when this career mode is over, but we will be coming back. I mean, for one thing, I know for a fact that there are more expansions planned, and I will certainly be coming back to play those. But we may play another game in between expansions, because I really do like this game. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to do here except just fire. Oof. I'm getting real bad damage spread on this thing.
Solid connection on that one.
And knocking over an assault mech that has entrenched is borderline impossible. I think it's good that they changed it a little bit, but I wonder if they maybe have gone too far in the other direction. Because when we played our campaign game, it was actually very easy to knock over pretty much anything. And that really became my primary strategy for a long time. The whole back half of the campaign was very knockdown heavy. And I like the fact that it's hard to knock down an assault mech now, but I wonder if it's maybe too hard. Like, I think the problem probably is mostly the combination of the fact that Entrenched is so effective, that assault mechs take so much stability damage, and that it's so easy to get entrenched because you now, sure footing gives entrench off of almost any kind of movement. To be clear, not a big deal. Kind of want to just jump forward and get his front arc there. He'll leave me way out in the open. I'm not going to be able to Vigilance and Precision Strike, and I would need Precision Strike to feel like I'm definitely getting him. You know, he only has 2 little weapons left. Maybe I just don't even worry about it. And then, in fact, maybe I reserve down so as to let the quick draw do stuff and lose some of its evasion. I'm going to do that. Grasshopper's in pretty good cover here. Should be hard to kill. Now, my impression of a lot of the BattleTech lore, and I know that there are a bunch of different sort of periods that the game is played in universe periods.
Yes, Commander.
And I don't know a lot about this stuff, so I don't know. He did lose 1 point of evasion. You gotta give him that. He kind of did the thing I wanted. So I don't know really what I'm talking about here, basically, is where I'm headed with this. But my impression of at least some of the periods of the BattleTech lore is that they're a lot more like Warhammer 40k in the sense that the mechs are hard to come by. They're like very valuable technology, so while they're incredibly useful weapons, people are really paranoid about losing them, and so the battles play out very differently. A lot of the tech only kind of works, and people only kind of understand how to fix it. So you get things like a huge assault type mech ends up getting used even though they don't understand how the components work, and so a bunch of the weapons aren't functional or are only functional sometimes. And that stuff sounds pretty interesting. I'd like to see some kind of recreation of that.
That hit something good.
I like this version of it where like mechs are plentiful. There's the idea of lost tech, but most mechs are like very obviously still in production. But I would like to see the other thing as well.
Standing by.
I'm hoping that... I have no idea how well this game has done. I'm hoping that this game has done well enough to warrant more BattleTech games. I mean, I know there's always been BattleTech games, right? MechWarrior and stuff. But I like strategy. Surprise! I like strategy-type games. So I'm hoping there's going to be more of these sometime in the near future. How healthy is this quick draw? I could probably pop this thing if I just drop all the weapons on it.
Firing full complement on enemy.
I don't know if this is necessary because he was missing a lot of his weapons already.
Hostile removed.
But at only 3 medium lasers, he certainly was going to be able to generate enough cooling to fire all 3 of them every turn. And, you know, it could have been a problem. So this is that torn up Zeus. I guess we ought to get started on the Thunderbolt. Let's give him a precision strike to the center. He's in a vulnerable position here, and I want to knock him down to 1 initiative to keep him there while we all shoot at him next round. Oh, no, had he... Yes, he had his turn already this turn. Zeus is
They've got a sensor lock on me.
not exactly terrifying, especially if it's going to spend its turns that way. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe it's a good idea to swap over to the Stalker, though.
Holding.
The thing is, the Grasshopper is like... It's really losing armor pretty badly in a lot of these engagements now. It's a great mech. It's a really great mech, but it might just be too small, too light for the things we are doing now. Is this a good idea? Should I back up? Well, I guess all of them are on 1 right now. I can just reserve down. We can do everybody else's turn. Uh-oh, there's more mechs. That was a weirdly long delay during the red times. Whenever the Sanguine Behemoths are around, it is the red times. I guess that's why they call us that. Yeah, maybe I should have just sprinted. Well, if we're very lucky, maybe this will just be a kill. If they had both hit center, we could potentially have gotten a knockdown there.
Commander?
Or not a knockdown, a murder. You know, one of those things.
Yeah. What can I do?
Let's have Eric the Red put this guy on the ground. Because if we do this, then I can have the Grasshopper jump forward and use Vigilance to get the called shot for free. I feel a lot safer doing that.
Ready for orders.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep my left side facing them, so I'm a little worried about my right arm. It's another Stalker, you know? I would not hate to have another Stalker. We did not really negotiate enough contract to make that happen, or enough loot from this contract to make that happen, but we can maybe take a piece of that home if no particularly compelling weapons drop. This is still enough to get it, but we gotta hit with almost everything.
Engaging with target.
Can't have any stuff flying off to the arms like that. Okay, we got the ammo explosion.
Target neutralized.
That cleans it up. So we'll be back over 50% at the beginning of next turn.
Let's do this.
Be over 60% even. And I can get an obstructed line of sight from here. 70s and 80s. Okay, yeah. This is the way I want to do that. I was just remembering that sometimes indirect fire is better than obstructed line of sight because of the way that the percentages work out. But getting to fire the Gauss rifle alone would have made this the better play, even if it wasn't the case that the missile shot was better. Hey, center torso, not bad. Much stability is it going to be able to shed? Okay, it's right at the bar. We can knock him down. This guy might be able to get the back armor of the Grasshopper, but I don't think it'll matter. He has few enough weapons left. Yeah.
Let's get this done.
Wasn't quite able to get the back armor, but it didn't matter too much. So again, I think we can just reserve down here.
Affirmative.
It seems like there's something moving on too, doesn't it? I don't know if I'm maybe seeing problems where there aren't problems, but it seems like something's happening. Alright, we get to fire the AC-20 for the first time. It goes to the leg, unfortunately. Well, whatever. Things on the ground now.
Reporting critical hit.
Trying to keep us above that inspiration threshold for the moment. So we should be able to knock him out pretty easily with the crab. Could we do it with the Cyclops instead? He does only have 50 center torso health.
Something I can do.
This is probably the time to coolant vent and just put it all in there. Okay.
Hostile eliminated. Orders?
Easy enough. Man, I can hear the wind howling outside. It sure is Michigan out there right now. I think I mentioned in one series... Listen, I was recording a lot of videos last couple of weeks. I do not remember which series it was. But I believe I mentioned in one series the
Target confirmed.
the way the weather swings back and forth in the winter in Michigan. It gets really cold here in the winter, but it doesn't stay really cold. We often...
Receiving
like, case in point, the other week, this is a little bit more intense than it usually is, but it's often something like this happens. We had a couple of days, there was a period of 3 days in the middle of the week where it was negative 18 or negative 20, and the wind chilled down to like negative 30 or negative 35. You know, the kind of weather where people could die. Like, that's actual emergency weather.
salvage that.
We got a thing from our apartment complex telling us to please not turn off the heat at any point for any reason, because all the pipes in the building might freeze. That kind of weather. Are we... Okay, well, like I said, I think there's another Lance. I guess we're not going to be informed of their presence until they come into firing range. That's how that often happens. So I'm just going to have all my guys stand in this dust cloud here and chill. Yeah, there's another Lance out there. The reinforcements didn't reach us before the battle ended.
On it.
But yeah, so it was like, it was legitimate winter emergency weather. Check on your family type weather. And then, it was Tuesday through Thursday, like that. And then that Saturday, or that Sunday, it was 55. So that's been happening a lot the last week or so. And it's gotten, it's getting back down to that real cold state here. So
Yes,
we're
Commander.
good now. I wonder if they're stuck. I'm going to brace one more turn. One of our mechs still has a little bit of heat. Alright, where do you reckon? Where's the mission boundaries? Let's find the outline. Are they all the way on the other side of these mountains? Usually, yeah, okay, they're all the way over here on this side. I was trying to figure out where we are relative to the map edge. Okay, well, I actually am not... Oh, we're right along it. That might be part of the problem. Alright, so let's head this way then. This way is into the center. There we go.
Looks like enemy
Oh, that's the problem. The reinforcement lance was vehicles, which are not moving very quickly over this extremely rocky terrain. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Be there in no retreat.
I am disinclined to advance on them. Let them come to us here.
Holding.
So I'm assuming we're going to see 4, right? 4 is usually how it goes. Ooh. Alright, well, I was just sprinting forward. I cannot actually get a sensor lock. Let's start with you. Moving forward. Give me a read on something. So we get an 80 and a 60. Let's... The Grasshopper's going to be able to jump over and get this guy pretty easily.
I've got a sensor lock.
Hey, it's a Demolisher. What a surprise. I think one thing that would really help with variety in the missions in this stage of the game, too, is if they...
Goods to go.
Even without adding more types of mechs to the campaign, and I know there are a lot more types, and I know some of them are like split up by era, some mechs are only available like in certain periods because technological advances had been made or rediscovered from the past or whatever. But even if they just had a bigger set of loadouts, like if not every mech you faced was stock, you know, the couple of Flashpoints we've had where we've seen actual customized mechs with interesting loadouts and new weapons have been really interesting. That's been the most fun stuff. Basically, I just wish there was more of that. I just wish they were doing more of all the really good stuff here. Alright, at the risk of exposing myself, run up here because we're going to smash this guy, and then we're going to rely on these rocks for cover. And hopefully you can finish the job here. I don't know that we're going to be able to get a direct shot ever again.
Consider it done.
But this should be good, right? We need to get 4 missiles into that side armor. I think that could probably happen.
Acknowledge. Let's go.
Had me worried for a second there.
Reporting. Vehicle destroyed. Yes, Commander.
Yeah, I think I have real good cover here.
Roger.
And that's, wow, that's just a bulldog, really? Why is there a bulldog in this mission? Okay, well, we may as well precision strike it. With these weapons, it's okay to go to the side armor, right?
All weapons are go.
I think I was told that it's just the LRMs that have whatever the issue is that's causing them to behave weirdly with targeted attacks.
Vehicle trashed.
What's up, boss?
Although, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know who it was that told me that. I may I may be inventing that entirely.
Aye, aye.
Alright, give me another sensor lock. Probably the close one. He's only 60 tons, though. This is probably a demolisher, right? Let's blow this up. Sure is.
Yes, boss.
I would love to get to a place where I could use my Gauss rifle. Yeah, it's not going to happen. This ridge is a real problem. Well, I guess let's keep advancing on all those autocannons. Don't know what else we would do. Try to force all of the shots to the side armor. It's actually a pretty effective strategy. You can catch them from the side and then aim at the front.
Vehicle eliminated.
Seems to work pretty consistently. You, I guess, can just run around here.
No problem.
I'd be very surprised if this vehicle was able to get into attack range on anybody, although, really, I should have waited. There was no benefit to me going early like that. Surprise!
Aye, aye.
It's a manticore. Who cares? Number 1 on my list of things I'm not afraid of.
Acknowledge.
This manticore. To be perfectly honest with you,
Enemy vehicle
if I could have seen it, and thus could have targeted for the attack, I might have gone for a DFA there. Just to mix things up a little bit, and also because DFAs are funny. I get that they shouldn't be a thing you can do all the time, they're a total desperation measure, but I have fun every single time I do one. We could probably build a mech to be better at that. I wonder if that might be a cool thing to do with a Banshee. Try to build it just as a stomper. Because we have some mods that reduce DFA self-damage, right? I wonder if you could make that viable. You know what I don't wonder? Is whether or not I'm going to try. I'm going to try, 100% for sure. That is a thing that will happen. So the question is, do I take the piece of the Stalker, work on building another Stalker, or do I just take that plus 10 damage medium laser because I love those so much? I think I'm going to take the medium laser. I will stop taking these when we have enough to outfit all of our mechs with them. And hey, big surprise, no other good loot. So all of the random loot that we're acquiring here is valuable for score. Valuable is a strong word. Will count toward our score, because at the end of the game we're going to sell everything we own. Because there's no sense in holding on to anything except one mech chassis of each type. So we'll sell everything we own, and we'll get all the C-bills for that. So over the course of the game here, we're just sort of building up a stock. I have no idea what our internal stocks are worth. I guess we could take a quick look here at the store. I think we're going to easily have enough time to do all 3 missions here. Unless this next one turns out to be a real bear. So, like, if I just look at our weapons real quick. We have 13 AC5s at 10,000 each. Yeah, you can see these pluses add a little bit of value, not a huge amount of value. AC20s, 14 AC20s at 18,000 each. It's true, we do fight more enemies with AC20s now than probably almost any other weapon. Well, except medium lasers. There's always going to be lots of medium lasers. How many? We have 105 unplussed medium lasers. And then 1, 3, 5, 7... Well, that's not really one. So 7 more pluses, plus all of the ones on our mechs. And that's a lot, right? Almost every mech we own has at least one medium laser on it. These travel contracts go to Mistress. Is Mistress the system that I'm thinking we're going to go to next? No, the travel contracts go in the wrong direction. This is a system we already went through. That's a shame. Alright, let's get back on track here. We got some 5 skulls. Let's do this one first. The lower pay, I think, implies lower difficulty. Pirate manufacturing facility on Alat is an illegal intrusion into our territory. Well, they're pirates. Almost everything they do is illegal. Blow stuff up. We tried to do diplomacy. It didn't work because they're pirates. Please blow them up. You got it, boss. Man, do I want to go 3? Thing is, if a good mech, if one of the mech types shows up, we want to take it whole. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just keep losing score until we have the opportunity to do this. And absolutely no changes. There's no way Hellebore has enough XP for his 9th point of piloting. And remember, we are still accumulating XP on these pilots. It's not like we're losing points by taking them out on missions. I still try to run the other guys as much as possible when it is reasonable to do so, because I would really love to have 12 top-tier pilots. You know, we still have one more Big Alliance Flashpoint ahead of us, right? Who knows how many missions we're talking about, or how many injuries we will take during those missions. Oh, I totally just clicked outside the window. Yeah, so I want to have a lot of pilots on deck, ready to step in. Darius says we should expect heavy resistance. I mean, that's what we do, man. We expect heavy resistance, and then we shoot the heavy resistance with every medium laser that has ever been made.
Command interface initiated.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait until we get out of this Martian biome. Assault the base, destroy enough of it to force the pirates to abandon the location, and also kill all the pirates. You know how we do.
Traveling to... Where are we again? Hell?
What is this? Is this... That's ice, right? Yeah, okay. I have strong feelings about that sweet, sweet Martian ice. Let's get over as close to that as we can, as quickly as possible.
Piece of cake.
Alright, so ideally we want to destroy the turrets from a distance.
Waiting for orders.
You all know how this goes.
Good to go.
You know, knowing that it was a base assault, I probably should have... Probably should have brought a second sensor lock pilot. Oh, we're live. I wasn't in range to pull the sensor lock before. Oh, shoot. If I take any cover position, I'm giving vision to that turret. The mech... Okay. The guys accompanying here are not super powerful. No atlases or anything, but... I don't know. I think I'm going to reserve down. Now that I know we have activated some mechs, let's let them come in.
Light damage. Holding firm.
Those AI stalkers are still reasonably dangerous. It's a real testament to the design of that mech. Okay, hey, those are pretty good odds, and we have his front. So I have 3 pieces of salvage, but I'm not going to try to do anything fancy with this stalker. Let's just take it down. I expect that there's going to be a reinforcement lance, and I'm still hoping for one of those things that we don't yet have to show up. Stalker is fairly heavily armored. It's actually going to survive that attack just fine. Yeah, geez. Still very tough.
Standing by.
Oh, wait, I want to make sure we're shooting from the front, though. Can I get front and... Yeah, here we go. Front and unobstructed. A little bit outside of optimal range, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to do enough stability damage here to get a knockdown. Just because he's a... Oh, no, it looks like we are good. I was just thinking he's an assault mech, right? So each bar represents so much stability. Now 96, he'll move on 1 next turn, so we pretty easily have him, really. Alright, that'll be their sniper laser turret. Did that turret fire yet? I should have been paying more attention.
What's up, boss?
Just thinking about what I was talking about. Okay, well, I definitely want to jump into cover. Maybe going to expose myself a little bit here, but I'll have Bulwark. Yeah, this is fine. So heavy laser turret, that's just a dragon. Over here, we're probably going to see another stalker. What do we need? I need 96. So 90% of roughly 85% of my shots are going to hit. For 96 damage, I need 3 connections, which means I probably don't want to fire, like, 4 lasers in the SRM probably handles it. And if it doesn't, then I can just clean them up with a little bit of extra rocket fire next turn. But I want to try to keep my heat under control here. Even with coolant vent, things get a little dicey.
Firing.
Okay, we got him.
Hostile.
Yeah, I really like the heat management. I really like the movement and facing stuff. It's just a good game. Oh man, sniper turrets. Okay, that's that turret off to our left that just fired.
No retreat.
Hopefully we'll be able to clear out a bunch of the turrets this turn. I mean, we kind of need to, right? So I'm going to run forward.
Position confirmed.
That is, in fact, just another stalker. And obviously the best thing for us here would be to remove all of their vision as quickly as possible. It should theoretically be the case that we can get these 3 guys down over the next 2 rounds without having to expose ourselves to direct vision from that turret. And from there, I suspect things will be fairly easy. So do I want to have Saber go after that stalker or not? Saber does a lot of damage and the damage focuses really well. The thing is, this stalker doesn't have any damage reduction. So I think I'm going to go for the head. There's a reasonable chance, right? 2 lasers kills it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a pretty decent chance we just get this. It's not
Roger.
certainly nowhere near guaranteed. Ooh, I don't think I got any headshots there. It looked like most of it went center, though. Yeah, that's not amazing. Only 140 damage. But not too bad for having completely missed my target. And I can't get close enough. I can shoot him with everything. I can shoot that turret with everything. I don't have the ability to split fire. I should probably take out the heavy laser turret. Over the dragon? Yeah.
On my way.
I do have precision strike. No, he just has way too much health for that to be sensible. Alright, let's get this kill that doesn't require us to spend any resources. So 232. The tricky part here is the fact that the AC-20 could miss. If the AC-20 misses, 105, 140, plus 140... Okay, yeah, so if the AC-20 misses, we still get it. I'm debating whether I want to fire everything. If I miss with the AC-20, this is enough, right? 140 plus 72. No, it's not quite enough. I do have to fire everything in case the big cannon misses. Alright.
Confirmed.
Okay, we're extremely in the clear. Some of the missiles are going off to still hit the stalker, mostly out of spite.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, if we get a nice, clean, direct shot... Looks like I'm not going to be able to do that. Oh, here we go, here we go.
Heading out.
Maybe I can kill this thing. We're not going to be able to get the dragon down with the Cyclops, but if the Stalker dies here, we're actually closer than I thought we would be to removing all of their vision in the front of the base. And now that we have 2 different Stalkers at 1 salvage part each, if none of the good mechs show up, we could just complete a second Stalker.
Yeah. Locking in all weapon systems.
Okay, so trying to get enough... Oh yeah, that was enough stability damage. So now if we just precision strike him at the beginning
got
of
a
the
sensor lock on him.
coming turn here, down to initiative 1, he's dead before he gets an action. The last mech in the lands doesn't have real vision of us yet. Oof. Big Swarmy's taking some hits here. A lot of damage reduction, but not a lot of evasion. Alright, well this will be the last turn all the turrets get to fire on us, right? Unless it does turn out that there is a reinforcement garrison and they're like really close. I might be able to just gut him. Maybe I should not worry about knockdown shenanigans. We should just take him out. 80-ton mech over there. That could be a stalker. Or a stalker. An awesome. I can't get a clean shot on him, and I can't stand anywhere where I'm going to have a shot at him, but not also direct vision from this turret. I'm just going to stand still, recover a bunch of this stability damage, and just try to core this dude. It would have been cool if we'd hit center with a few more of the Cyclops' weapons.
Engaging.
Okay, not quite there, but we did get the push down to 1 at least. How high did we leave him? 8.
Standing by.
Alright, I am
Orders.
thinking the Cyclops probably has him from here. I need to vent. And then we are not going to aim, we're just going to finish the job. Alright, so they no longer have normal vision of us.
Mech destroyed.
We know that that mech has sensor lock.
What's up, boss?
That's not ideal. I think I'm going to move forward and expose the Atlas. I'd really prefer they shoot at the Atlas. And I think between the Atlas and the Crab, we should probably be able to get rid of this turret. Yeah, 127.
Yes, Commander.
I can certainly squeeze 127 out of this Crab. So how many missiles does it take? Assuming the rifle does not hit target. 127 is... This is 120 right here. So we can fire just the rifle and the 20 and the 10 is like overkill. Just keep our heat under control. Okay, the rifle hit makes it completely trivial.
It's go time. Turret destroyed.
Ah, it's a Zeus. Who cares? That sucks, though. I'm hopeful that they will shoot some of their stuff at the Atlas. Because the Atlas is standing out in the open. Okay, one of the turrets doesn't have long-range weapons. Ow. How bad is that?
Reporting internal
It's
damage.
pretty bad, actually. Okay, we're going to need
Yes, Commander.
some repair time. I might actually have this Grasshopper sit out the next mission. So that's my right side. Let's show him left a little here. We'll just we'll try the Stalker in that slot for the next one, and then we'll do repairs on our way to Hellspawn.
Receiving you.
Okay, this is going to give us direct vision on that turret.
Enemy reinforcements detected.
Oh, there's that strong opposition, Commander. Thanks, Darius. He just got back from the bathroom. He wasn't even really going anymore. He just, you know, he had his phone with him, and he found this interesting story, and then he was like, huh, is that historical event real? And he went and looked it up on Wikipedia. You know how it is.
Let's see how you like this.
4 clicks later, all of a sudden you're reading about the history of the Ottoman Empire. Before you know it, the commander's almost finished with the mission. I was about to say like an hour has passed, but honestly, these missions don't really represent that much time in real time, right? I don't need to fire everything here, but let's just... Wow! That's just a complete hard miss from the rifle. Kinda glad I fired everything, actually.
One less turret.
And this turret is the one that just sensor locked us before, right? Even when it had vision of us.
Orders.
So I am less than worried. Oh, I can't quite stop on the ice here. Alright, I'll stop there.
On my way. Double time.
We are still going to have to actually destroy the base.
Waiting for orders.
You know what? Reserve.
Orders?
Location confirmed. On it.
It's weird. This thing should definitely have been able to fire at us before. It has 2 large lasers.
Ready for orders?
I wonder why it's sensor locked instead of firing.
Good to go. Yes, I'm there.
We actually don't get to fire everything this time.
Firing.
Turns out not to be relevant. We have so many weapons that even when we only fire half of them, it's still dramatic overkill.
Good to go. Ready for orders.
Okay, so I just have to destroy any 2 buildings? Large, medium... Okay, medium it is. Ah, right, I was supposed to try to get on the ice. Well,
Piece of cake.
it's not like we're in a hurry here.
Upgrading heavy damage to an enemy structure. Bring it down.
Enemy turn, huh? I see what they're getting at there. You just brace and bleed heat. And in fact, I'm going to have everybody
Standing by.
take a moment here to brace and bleed heat. Why don't you do it in cover, though? Since we do not know where the enemies might come from.
Position confirmed.
Reinforcement lance is on its way. They showed us the objective already. So I'm not really in a hurry to get these buildings down.
Orders.
Oh, you're probably fine where you are.
Receiving you.
Can't quite get to the ice.
Got it.
I think I'm hearing the sound of mech legs through my right
Commander.
headphone. Try to melt ourselves down a couple inches into this ice and get some good cooling. Nope, apparently not. Apparently it's all the way over there.
Commander.
Why don't we reserve?
Roger that. Standing by.
Copy that.
I'm going to make sure all of them are as close as possible before we do
Receiving
anything
you.
here.
Move order received. Got a lock.
Huh, that's weird. He only had 2 points of evasion on him, or maybe even only 1, but he doesn't have guarded or anything.
Standing by.
What did he do on his turn? Did he seriously move forward and just end turn without even bracing? I don't really understand how you have that combination of defensive things. Right, I was supposed to be going for the ice. SB, focus, man. There's enemies to fight. I get very excited about it.
Waiting for orders. Yeah? What can I do you for? Be there in a jiff.
What would I have to pay you to stop responding to my calls like that? I'm your commander. Listen, I don't like to get hung up on rank or anything, but I'm just saying a small amount of respect. Just don't ask me. Don't ever say a sentence to me that involves the phrase "do you." That's all I'm asking.
Commander.
Professional courtesy, right? We should probably get the grasshopper close enough that it can participate if it needs to. I'm definitely reserving down here, though.
Orders.
Actually,
Standing by.
can Hellebore, or not Hellebore, can Razor get close enough to just blow that thing up? Yeah. Do I care, though? Like, do I care about this thing enough to potentially spend our autocannon on it when the other enemies might catch up? No, I think I'm just going to let stuff come
Copy
forward.
that. Holding for the right move.
I would love to shoot somebody else with the big autocannon.
Ready for orders.
Well, he's not going to make it easy for me, is he? I'm going to have Saber just brace here,
Confirmed.
just to let us pass a turn. Hoping to see some more sensor traces show up. Just want a little bit more information, you know? Okay. Boy, it sure looks like he just only fired at that building. Maybe he's a little confused as to whose side he's on. Maybe we're a little confused as to whose side he's on. How do I know? He's not here to help, you know? He could be.
Receiving you.
Let's start with the Cyclops, actually. I'm not going to bother to aim on this. No, I am. We have 100 vigil. We have 100 resolve. I should. We totally could get a kill.
Hostile, remove.
Alright, and this is the part where another sensor trace shows up, so I have something to attack. No?
Ready for orders.
Didn't seem like they even took a turn there. Maybe this is unwise, but I'm going to go way forward. Huh. The rest of the enemy reinforcements... Oh, vehicles. Probably there's some vehicles, right? Well, I guess let's get over here and brace for a second. We really need to cool down this crab.
Good to go.
Yeah, so I ran the Atlas, like, very much in the wrong direction here.
Commander.
Confirmed.
Orders.
Okay, they have some mechs.
Aye, aye.
I guess there's no reason we really need to be acting into.
Standing
Okay.
by.
I guess that's it. I think we're looking at 2 vehicles in one mech here. That's my guess. Oh, maybe not. That is an 80-ton mech, so it might just be another another Zeus. Really hoping for an awesome, though. No, they're all mechs. They're just bad at their jobs. I mean,
Commander.
assault mechs in a quick draw, right? They're not all going to arrive at places on the same turn, I suppose. Well, I really like this version that lets me see more than one enemy, so we're going to do this even though it moves me out of cover. Yep, Zeus and Thunderbolt. That could be a Highlander. I think Highlanders are 90. So the Zeus has only guarded. Thunderbolt has Bulwark as well. Honestly, maybe I just sensor lock. Thinking, like, if we're only going to get to fire 2 of these weapons, I probably don't want to use Precision Strike here. And if I'm not going to use Precision Strike, I'm effectively not going to do any damage anyway. Let's just screw with his guns, I guess.
Sensors locked on.
Yes, Commander.
I think I'm going to stay right here.
Firing all weapons.
A pretty good start.
Yes, Commander.
Fortunately, it's also the majority of our damage. You in cover since you're a little bit of a soft target.
Over now. Consider it done.
And, you know, even through his entrenchment, we are doing a remarkable amount of stability damage here. Did I fill the bar completely? I did.
Waiting for orders.
There's definitely a temptation to run forward and have at them. I think I'm actually going to have this guy move to the best cover position back here and just finish off this building real quick.
Confirmed.
I should really knock out these mission objectives if I can do so without slowing us down, right? Just in case we did suddenly have to flee. I can't imagine why we would need to. Alright, these large buildings have 200 health.
Affirmative.
Get your lance to the LZ, Commander. I'm coming in hot.
You're not the boss of me. Okay, that was kind of a lot of damage.
I'm under heavy fire.
I see where you're coming from on that.
Standing by.
Well, good news, you get to be under even heavier fire.
Firing a full salvo.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably we're not going to be able to make use of the knockdown here. Because it is unlikely he survives. Come on, Highlander. Nope, that's a Cyclops. Okay. would have been nice to get a Highlander here just to make this all
going?
worthwhile. Feel very bummed out about the loot option that we chose. So the Cyclops does have an AC-20. It also has ammo in its center torso. As much as I love blowing up Thunderbolts, I think that thing's going to have to wait for a second. There's enough shooting here that we actually are running out of ammo on a lot of our stuff. Alright, pretty good odds of an ammo explosion here with all the missiles. I think the LRM-15 has bonus crit chance as well. Yep, we got there. Takes a little bit for it to process all of the different ammo explosions, because there was also ammo in that arm, apparently.
Let's go. Receiving you.
Can just barely get close enough to shoot at him, so I guess we will. My suspicion is he's in a lot of trouble.
Target acquired.
How are you going to just stand in the open? No defenses of any kind. I think that's going to be okay. Wow, almost took the head off as well.
Enemy down.
Was that 5 skulls? Really? Huh.
Mission successful.
Well, you know, Darius is not always good at estimating the difficulty. Also, it does seem like the missions that have turrets on them are represented as more difficult than they feel to us. Maybe under the assumption that, like, people will find those missions more difficult because not everybody will have sensor lock and the number of long-range weapons that we have. But yeah, we're gonna give Big Swarmy a rest here. We're gonna try the Stalker out. So this is an alright LRM-15. That's not bad at all. None of the medium lasers I like. Get some real good SRMs. No gyros, it looks like. Jesus, just a lot of heat sinks in a battle of that size. And a lot of targeting systems. Alright, so I think what we want to do here is 2 Stalker pieces, and then that LRM-15 pod, maybe? I suppose from a pure money-making standpoint, this is the best play. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, nothing else particularly noteworthy. They also gave us a piece of a quick draw. Okay. We see so many quick draws, I'm sure we will accumulate a couple more before the end of the campaign here, the career mode. And we're kind of pushing the hour, but I'm going to go ahead and knock out this other mission here real fast. Yeah. I guess the difficulty, when they were designing the difficulties, they didn't want to assume that you are good at dealing with turrets. But that makes these turret missions not super interesting. It's a tough thing when you're designing a game. Like, do you design your difficulty systems with players who are very experienced in mind, or do you design them with, let's see. Don't think we're going to end up using this Victor under any circumstances. We can store that. We're definitely not using you either. Yeah, do you design your difficulty ratings with players who already know the game in mind, or are your difficulty ratings more aimed at people who are still discovering the strategies? Because representing that as a difficult mission is a good way for a player to come in and work out how to deal with turrets, right? Must always consider that perhaps we are not the ideal audience for a thing. If decisions seem strange, it might be because they were made with somebody else in mind. We've learned that the Federated Suns here in Alat have been busy working on a new water filtration technology. Extremely valuable and likely to shift the balance of power in the region. So we must capture this base. Possibly even more turrets. Yeah, okay, I like that. I like 674 while also being able to take home a whole mech. And we are reputation capped with 2 more factions. So at this point, our reputation completion points are 40k out of 50k. All we have to do is either drop the Capellans all the way back to negative 100, or get Merrick up to 100, which we absolutely intend to do. We don't want to ally with the Taurians, because the Taurians are enemies with too many people. Actually, it would change almost nothing. But I'm pretty sure I read that only the 5 major houses actually have flashpoints associated with them. Right, the only people here that we're not currently at war with are the Arana Restoration, and I think it's the case that the Arana Restoration doesn't count. We're not actually getting any points from this, right? Because we're showing 40,000 on reputation completion, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 maxed out reps. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll do a little research in between episodes, and if it turns out that the Concordat does have a flashpoint associated with them, we'll probably go ahead and take that alliance. Anyway, let's do some damage, huh? Let's do some bodily harm. Let's steal a prototype. So we're going to do it like that. 3 priority salvage until we are done. Now I will say that the rocket's red glare over here is a little bit less good at headhunting, and maybe I will regret having swapped it out. So 60 heat sinking on a 107 damage alpha strike versus 60 heat sinking on an 88 damage alpha strike means we're going to have more heat problems with this thing, and it's not really reasonable to think that we might get a melee attack turn. Like, we're not going to get those easy continue dealing damage, but also cool off turns. And we're going to be slower. Not going to be able to get out ahead of the Atlas anymore. But honestly, maybe that's even a good thing. You can see the armor difference. This is 1120, while this thing has 1320. Considerably more... well, I mean, the Grasshopper's showing a decreased amount of structure, but more structure. Pretty impressive firepower, 493 to what we're showing as 408, and keep in mind that 408 is including the small lasers and the machine guns. This thing, man, this thing really does a lot of damage. Like, a terrifying amount of damage. This guy's on 404, and we consider that to be pretty hefty. 365, yeah, Jesus, man. All we have to do is get within 270, and I'm excited to see it in action, that's what I'll say. Gonna have to be very cautious about our heat. I can't imagine, even if this does work out, that we'll want to keep it in the lance full time. The speed of the Grasshopper is too useful. But there are definitely going to be missions where this is appropriate. I still need to get plus damage lasers in there, and I'd like to get a couple of SRM upgrades. I think 1 or 2 of the launchers on this thing, all of the SRM launchers have the plus damage, but 1 or 2 of the launchers don't have the bonus stability damage on top of that. It would be cool if we could do both. I expect the defenses on the facility to be substantial, but if we were bothered by the odds, we wouldn't be mercenaries. He has decided for us. I mean, he knows Reckless. Reckless is not bothered by the odds. That's how she got that name.
Command interface initiated.
So, like, a sensor lock pilot, sensor lock heat, sensor lock coolant vent pilot would be a useful thing to have in the Stalker.
Here we go. Waiting for orders.
What does he have instead? He's got multi-shot, which, honestly...
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, he has multi-shot, which we reasonably might use, honestly.
Acknowledged.
Moving out.
Moving.
Now the Cyclops is our only fast mech. What a weird place we've ended up in.
On my way.
On the move. Piece of cake.
Still no vision, huh? Right, well, that's probably going to be a turret. Over there, and these things almost always have 4. Don't see a 4th stand. It could just be mounted in the base somewhere. Yeah.
Commander.
Let's have you run up. This is a little closer than the Cyclops maybe ought to be. But it has good cover here. Yeah, I'm going to move forward. Let's get vision. Alright, picking up additional units in the area. No big surprise there. They may have gun emplacements.
Check your scanners. We got company.
Okay, yeah, so it's just in the middle of the base. Works for me.
Moving out.
I copy.
Copy that.
That's alright. Kaz the Destroyer has it under control. And by it, I mean figuring out where the enemies are. Not so much with the shooting. It is also worth noting that the Grasshopper has a point of initiative over Stalker.
Move order received.
Might seem like kind of a small thing, but it's important. Should have pretty clean lines of sight on this guy.
Yes, Commander. Standing by. Yeah? What can I do?
Actually, hold up. I have the ability to shoot him from here? Oh, just with the large laser. I cannot get anywhere near shooting him with the short-range weapons. Actually, I'm pretty near. That's not far off. And my heat reduction is good enough that I think we can probably jump over here and fire a large laser without actually leaving any heat on our bar at all. There's a lot of sinks in this thing.
Receiving you.
If we got any more double heat sinks, this is definitely where they would go. Although, honestly, maybe we're seeing that they're not necessary.
Good to go.
So how much health does this thing have left? 182. So you have 80 plus 60 plus 50. Give him this. Try to preserve the ammo on the more valuable mech.
No retreat.
Yep, that's true. We're not going to retreat from these emplacement guns. So next turn, I'm hopeful that we can get... I'm going to try to move this guy around to where he's going to have a clean shot up there. I'm hopeful we can get this turret with the Stalker and use our long-range weapons to take out that one, because that enemy reinforcement lance is coming, right? Like to be cleaned up by the time they get here.
Aye, aye.
It's nice to have an assault mech that can actually jump. Alright, so that is a heavy shredder turret. We do not need to fire everything. We brought enough missiles to really do a lot of firing, so I'm comfortable turning off lasers here. Each one of these is 72, so this is 288 damage worth of missiles. So I'm just going to turn off all of the laser weapons. Right?
Roger.
Turns where we can do this are going to be very heat efficient, actually.
One less turret.
Yeah, we generate 40 heat when we fire all of those, and our heat sinks
Receiving you.
cool out 60 naturally. Obviously, they're less effective here because of Mars,
Aye, aye.
the god of war, who hates coolants.
I've got a sensor.
I think a lot of people don't know about him. I think a lot of it's because he likes the color red. He just likes how red things get when they overheat. Okay, on this guy, I think we can do the full salvo. So they only have one turret left. It'd be really nice if we could clear these all up before the enemy mechs get close enough. I think we should be able to get a sensor lock on that guy next turn.
Commander, you've got hostile contacts inbound.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if we're going to see 2 lances of reinforcements. My guess would be that we are.
Ready for orders.
You're not first. Hold on. We can, in fact, get the sensor lock. I'd love to do it. Oh, we're not in combat anymore.
Location confirmed.
Hold on, I think I had vision. Yeah, let's just get normal vision of them. How about that?
Location confirmed. Heading out. Coordinates received.
Oh, it's a shredder, too. So it can't actually shoot at us.
Orders.
Alright, can you get close enough to fire your missiles? Well, alright then.
Locked on.
Things growing on me for sure.
Destroyed.
The Stalker is alright, man. Now that we have a second Stalker, we can try to outfit that one for long-range weaponry, see how that feels.
Good to go.
So I gotta pacify the area around the base. Unfortunately, we have no idea what direction any enemies might be in.
On my way.
Never mind, we got a read. Where was that? Where did I get a read? Ah, up there. Okay. Let's take the crab over here. Get ourselves some direct line of sight. Probably run the Cyclops up in the same place. Yeah, they just spawned in from the edge, I guess. Very little reason to do anything here.
Ready for orders.
Orders.
I'm not going to be able to sprint anywhere near getting sight of him, so let's just...
On
Oh
my
man,
way.
we could run the Stalker up and actually just jump the cliff. Won't that be lovely?
Sensors locked on.
That is a Highlander 733P. Okay. We have a vested interest in not coring him. In fact, reducing him via pilot damage or taking that
Full
off.
speed.
What else do we have here? 85, 100, 80. Okay.
How's it going?
So it's unlikely to be the case that we want anything else. I'm going to try to just knock his head off with the Gauss rifle. I guess I should move off of the unstable ground.
Acknowledged.
We're going to go 18% chance to the head, not firing the rest of the weapons. I don't want to do any damage except for knock the head off. Oh my god.
Hopefully get salvaged.
What a good weapon. What an extremely good weapon.
Commander.
That right there is why Gauss rifles are good. Well, that's not the only reason. It really is just like an extremely efficient way to deliver damage in every way except weight. It's not that weight efficient. That's aggressive. I mean, I guess I have 100, what do you call it? 100 resolve. We could just pop up here and bulwark. Yeah, let's do it.
Affirmative.
I probably have the armor to survive this. Probably. So we vigilance up. And who dies? Ooh, that's an awesome 8T. Well, we only get 3 points of priority salvage here. I'm going to take home the Highlander, and maybe we'll get some pieces of this out of blind luck. So it would be cool if we could take the head off of that mech as well. That said, this mech is considerably less dangerous than the others. I'm going to try to headshot the crab. So, 2 laser weapons, right? It is less likely with this guy, but still possible.
Firing full complement on enemy.
Ooh, I think he might have... Yep, totally did it.
Neck warriors. Show them what you've got.
I think like the first 3 or 4 lasers hit the head there. You see the awesome looking around like,
Yes, Commander.
did we have more reinforcements coming, or what was our actual plan here?
Got it.
Atlas unfortunately just has to
Yes.
run around the long way. It is nice to have mechs with real jump jets again. So this Stalker, I mean, what do you think? Do we want to roll those dice again? I think with the Stalker we can just play center.
Affirmative.
Go for the high percentage play. Even if it will maybe take an extra round.
Scored a critical hit.
We do get lucky sometimes though, don't we?
Receiving you.
I'm outside of optimal range for my weapons, right? If I close in, does it... Yeah, okay.
On my way.
I can close in enough for it to make an actual difference to the number of missiles that we'll
I'll
hit.
give them the whole 9 yards.
Ah, darn. Actually hoping for a center shot from the PPC. There was like an actual chance of getting a kill there.
Oh, it's on now.
The Stalker just didn't do
Ready for
anything?
orders.
Well, I don't think that was the right play. I think... Listen, don't let me tell you how to do your job, but I think you needed to do stuff there, man. Alright, I'm going to try to take off the Awesome's head as well. Just to see how many good mech parts we can put in the loot pool here. Alright, so even with the coolant vent, I gotta chill out a little bit. I can turn off one of the SRM launchers. I don't want to lose too many lasers. What if I turned off all the lasers? The fact that this only does 25 damage sucks, but it's still enough for a headshot if paired with the large laser.
Engaging target.
Ooh, I don't think we got... Okay, one of those hit the head.
Standing by.
That's about expected value, right?
Roger.
I'm going to go for another headshot here. Both of these weapons are powerful enough to be lethal. No, didn't get there. Alright, listen, if we don't get to put
Good to
3
know.
pieces of the awesome into the loot pool, it will not be the end of the world. I think we're just going to go full hard center fire here. Yeah, man, we do a lot of damage now. Damage output of that stalker is very silly. Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and the PPC will hit the head. Actually, I'm not gonna shoot. We're gonna take another shot here with the stalker. I'm not afraid of this thing like doing any meaningful damage to us. In fact, it did not attack for some reason. I wonder if they can't attack the turn they're like when they're off the map. If all they're allowed to do is just move in. Let's try one more time.
Confirmed.
Okay, we got it. Okay.
One last target.
That's an awful lot of salvage we've left them. Oh, we end up with 12 here, right? 312 was our salvage?
Mission successful.
Well, that Stalker's initial field test was very positive. I've just drawn a big thumbs up on my clipboard here. Let's see if we can get lucky. So I think the Highlander's got to be less common than the Awesome. Just I'm assuming from the weight, right? Like it's probably going to be the case that we can see the Awesome in a larger number of different missions. So I'm going to take the Highlander pieces. We might end up with a third King Crab out of this. I'm going to go ahead and look. That would be really nice to have. I'm going to go ahead and look here, but I can't imagine that I want to take anything else. Yeah. Confirm. Did not get any other mech pieces. Or anything else of value at all. Oh well. I mean, a +3 accuracy medium laser is fine. We are operating at very high accuracy levels already, of course. That's why, like I was saying, I think it would be good for the arc of the career mode to end before you could get a bunch of pilots to all 10s. Because having a pilot with 10 gunnery really kind of trivializes a lot of the things that make aiming difficult. You don't need plus accuracy weapons almost at all. I wonder if they could just maybe rebalance gunnery in general. Because honestly, I don't know that you need to change very much else about the system. Just if you just made gunnery half as effective, I don't think it would. I don't think it would break anything. So I'm having trouble conceiving of a good use for this Highlander. I'm gonna store this thing. We'll put the other Highlander up. See if that looks any better to me. And with that, I mean, we know what we're doing. Let's just go ahead and fly over to the next... Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, though. Before I go flying over to the next world, let's remember to put those grasshopper repairs in. I guess we can have a look at our new mech. One whole day. You can see I'm just finishing up some rebuilds on the lighter mechs. So, out of curiosity, let's have a look at this thing. I arm modded it, and I put approach weapons on it. But what if we did focus on DFA damage? What items do we actually have to support that kind of stuff? Okay, leg mods. Minus 30 DFA self-damage. We have 2 of these. So his... it's in melee, right? His DFA is 240. So now it would only be 180, which is 90 damage per leg. So we'd have to armor up his legs even more in order to be able to perform 2 safely. Man, it's just... that's just not very good. And that's 12 tons devoted to that. No, they really, they really don't want you going DFA heavy. Fair enough. It is kind of a silly thing. Like, it should be devastating when you do it, right? It should be devastating to you. So let's have a quick look at the new Highlander. I didn't actually look at its default weapon loadout there in the mission, because it, was not mission relevant. We knew what we were doing. Juggernaut, Sniper, and Heavy Cavalry. It does all of those things. It can mount 3 jump jets. No autocannon slots, PPC... LRMs, SRMs, medium lasers. Man, this is not a great build. But it has 43 tons remaining. 3 missile bays. 4 laser bays. Support weapons that are probably going to be pretty hard to use. I don't know. I don't know what we do with this thing. Not exactly blowing my hair back. Seems like a stalker might be a better mech for the long-range sniper kind of thing that this would be good for. It does have support weapons, and it melee is pretty hard, 115. But you're not really going to be able to make a punch bot out of something that weighs, or something that only has 3 jump jets in it. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem good. Alright, let's fly on over to Hellespont. This is a system we haven't been to yet. Despite its location far from the inner sphere, Hellespont is a rich, high-tech manufacturing world. The headquarters of the Comstar Explorer Corps is located on this planet, and the infrastructure necessary for Comstar's operations has led to prosperity and investment. It would be cool if there was some kind of Comstar interaction that could happen here. I believe one of our newer pilots is actually a Comstar acolyte. It seems like they left a bunch of hooks in the game for cool story content that they want to explore later. The stuff they just haven't yet gotten around to. They are formally offering me an alliance, which I'm pretty sure we're not taking. Darius opens the morning briefing with a scowl on his face. We picked up new supplies a few weeks ago, and we're just now opening some of the crates of machine tools. And, well, I can't believe this has happened again, but... Yang practically explodes from his chair. We have more Triple F burger meat! Do you know how hard this stuff is to come by in the periphery? Dr. Murad sighs audibly. Please tell me that the refrigeration was still operational. I don't want a repeat of last time. Oh, don't worry, Doc. My team will take care of the goods. Yang flashes a winning smile. What do you say, Commander? Burgers on the menu? Triple F. Flagship sandwich sold by Triple F restaurants throughout the Federated Sun space. The thing is, Triple F does not sound like good meat. Apparently, we don't have hydroponics. That was one of the 2 morale things we hadn't built yet. That's a shame. We're definitely not eating the meat. But if I just destroy the meat, I suspect it's going to bomb our morale. Darius, sell that meat. Oh, that also bombed our morale. Shaking your head, you say, Chief, I can't afford to have half your technicians in the medbay. Not like last time. Turning to your XO, Darius, spread the word and see what you can sell them for. Darius checks in a few days later. Sorry, Commander, I haven't gotten any bites yet. Honestly, though, I don't think we can sell them now, not in good conscience, anyway. Later that week in the mess hall, disgruntlement ripples through the room. Rumors about the lost shipment have apparently begun to spread. Well, that's a bummer. That's like 500 points, I think, that point of lost morale.
Job's done, Commander.
I know we have no jobs in the queue, but we also have nothing that really needs doing. Yang and his crew are going to spend an awful lot of time sitting idle. I'll fiddle with the Highlander and the Stalker and see if there's anything really worth doing with them in between episodes here.
Ready to go over financials whenever you are.
I think I'm going to do a month of Extravagant. We'll just get ourselves back up to 48. We'll go back up to 48 because there's a bunch of events that move your morale by 2 points in either direction. So this way we'll still be able to cap off of lucky events. We're not spending quite as much money. Not that it matters, probably. Seems unlikely to me that we will ever have money problems again. It is at least theoretically possible that when we hit a black market world, we might see a very, very valuable mech. We've seen some mechs at like 14 million, and who knows, maybe that's not as high as they can go. Even so, it's hard to imagine running out of money at this point. Alright, let's visit the store real quick, see what they have for us.
Waypoint reached, Commander.
What have we here? Quick draw, dragon... Okay. Well, no big surprises there. I'm just still very hopeful. It's entirely reasonable to think that we might be able to just straight up purchase the Centurion 9AL on a random world. That could totally happen. That's really what we're still looking for. So come on, show me a bunch of high skill contracts. Right? On Comstar. Hyperpulse generators work remarkably slowly. I don't think these pulses are very hyper at all. Okay, well, apparently we only have 1 day worth of jobs here. And then we'll be heading back out, and we definitely want to get into open space. There are still flashpoints available. 72 days and 29 days. We are not going to be able to get out here in 29 days. I don't know if this is going to reappear after it expires. We did have a flashpoint reappear earlier, but that was one we tried and failed. I don't know if it works like that for ones that you just don't bother to do. So yeah, we'll fly around here somewhere. As you can see, we can fly pretty far out here and be picking up... we've already been to all these systems, but be picking up new systems all the way across. And we go quite a distance. Our Manchester C rep is negative, but not minimized, so we might... these systems are not good for us. We're not going to be able to take any missions at all. I don't know. Maybe we'll go to Montharaka and then figure it out from there. Pick up some stuff on the black market, maybe. See if we can get a little bit lucky. Every system that we actually stop at costs us extra time. So, like, as much as it might be interesting to go to Tiverton and stop, and then go to Independence and stop, and then go here and stop, it does cost us extra time, and each time we stop on one of these worlds, we have to consider how many other systems we're depriving ourselves of, because each system we visit is worth quite a bit, I believe. Yeah, each system we visit is worth 500 points. Now, stopping allows us to do missions, obviously, but on those half-skull worlds, we're not going to generate 500 points worth of rewards from doing the missions. So, I think it's best that we just try to move as fast as possible to worlds that have either something very valuable, like potentially a black market, or to worlds that have an actual reasonable skull value. It looks like a lot of the stuff down here is really low. Yeah. Are there... kind of wish that there was an overlay that you could put on, just like show me all of the worlds of 4 skull or higher difficulty, right? I don't know, if we mostly stay in the air, we might be able to pick up a lot of the systems we haven't been to yet, but there's also a lot of systems we haven't been to yet. Anyway, that's sort of the long-term plan. For now, that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see us knock out 2 more quote-unquote high difficulty contracts, and we'll see you then.